Hey love, I'm Gena. I'm a fitness and nutrition coach who helps women find relief from food obsession, body shame, and perfectionism so they can feel calm, confident, and strong without obsession. If you're exhausted from overthinking food, afraid of weight gain, or stuck trying to do everything right but still never feeling enough, you're in the right place. I know this terrain deeply. I've lived through restriction, treatment, binging, rebuilding, and the identity loss that comes with letting go of control. And now I help women stop punishing themselves, rebuild trust with their bodies, and create strength and health that actually feels sustainable. This is a space where healing and body goals get to coexist, where fitness doesn't cost you your peace, and where you don't have to do this alone. Take a breath. You're safe here. This is the Fit Without Obsession podcast. Okay, I feel like one thing that we really need to talk about today is how mean we can be to ourselves sometimes. Like, you might have that voice in your head that's like constantly picking you apart all freaking day long and like maybe saying things like you shouldn't have ate that, or like you look bigger, or you're not doing enough, like you suck. Like, most people, I think that this voice is like just them. Like, it's just the truth, it's just their personality, it's just like literally them like actually creating this. But I want you to like pause and ask yourself, like, what if it is not actually you? Like, what if that is not actually, like, your true soul speaking to you? And first, I know you're like, what the fuck? Like, that doesn't make sense, Gina. But I do want to go into, like, first, why this voice feels so real. And it's because it sounds like you, like, likely, I feel like if you're anything like me, which I think this is crazy because, side note, tangent, apparently some people, when they listen to their voice in their head, it, like, isn't in their voice. Like, it's, like, sounds like someone else. Or I've even heard people say that they don't even like hear a thing, and I'm like, whoa. Okay, now you're getting ahead of me. But anyway, I feel like personally it sounds like me, right? Like, and you probably feel that way too, unless you're one of those, I guess, like super creative people. But like, it probably sounds like your voice. It is constant too, like it's popping up all the time. It also like probably feels super freaking convincing and also like super urgent. So of course you're gonna believe it when it pops up. But just because a thought is loud, this is a big one, I brought this up a couple episodes ago, it doesn't mean that it's true, right? Like, just because you keep thinking it's been something you thought for years and years and years, that doesn't mean that that's actually, like, the reality and the actual truth. Just because it feels familiar, like, that doesn't mean that it's you, especially, like, the future version of you that you were stepping into, that identity that you want to capture, right? And the reason that this voice is coming up, like, it's not trying to hurt you. It's actually trying to protect you. And I know you're like, that makes zero sense, Gina, because this voice in my head tells me that I'm a piece of shit 24 hours of the day. But what it's really actually trying to protect you from are like things that you're actually genuinely scared about, right? So like you're probably scared about, and what it's trying to protect you from is weight gain, or maybe it's judgment from other people, even judgment of yourself. Like maybe it's rejection, thinking that like if you don't show up a certain way, if you don't eat a certain way, you are going to be like unloved and like rejected. Also, like it's probably trying to protect you from not feeling good enough. And that voice in your head learned that being critical is also the same thing as staying in control. And then that voice thinks that it's helping you stay safe, right? Like that's it. We're equating being critical as staying safe. But it's not your identity. It's just a strategy that like your brain has learned, like a coping mechanism your brain has learned. So I want you to understand first, like how this was developed and like why we kind of have this voice, right? And I know that you're like, okay, well, why would I want to be mean to myself? Why would I come up with that? But it's because we have these outside influences, right? Like diet culture, for one, like all of the messaging that we've heard online, right? Like maybe even body comments that you've had growing up. Like maybe you're not actively thinking about those things, but they probably did stick with you for like, you know, a big part of this, right? Like they shaped a lot of who you are. You also maybe even had praise for like being small or like disciplined in the past. Like if you've gone through like weight fluctuation or anything like that, like, and you've heard validation for losing weight or validation from like working super hard in the gym. Also, like, comparison has probably brought up a lot of these, like, feelings in this voice that's in your head. And then two, like, past versions of you trying to fix yourself. So at some point, your brain decided that being hard on you was helpful, right? Like, it did decide that, even if you don't think that. So I feel like for me, especially, like, I always had like a lot of body fixation thoughts, right? Like I feel like growing up as a dancer, that was something that I was obviously getting a lot of external like data coming in. And I feel like there was a way that I was expected to look, a way that I should look, right? So that voice in my head, right, or that part of my brain that came up with this and thought that like being mean and critical of myself was like an actual good thing, like that stemmed a lot from like the way that I grew up in dance, right? Like the way that I grew up also like feeling like I was the disciplined gym girl and like actually getting a lot of validation for that. So like wanting to stay in kind of that mindset, right? And the problem is that this voice that's mean to you, this voice that's self-critical, it doesn't actually create change in your life. And what it really actually does is it's going to keep you stuck in shame. It also seriously fuels the restrict binge cycles that you might be stuck in. And again, I spoke on this like in the last episode. You might not equate yourself with having a restrict binge problem, but you probably are going through periods of time like where you are tightening the reins and trying to restrict or have food rules because like you feel like you fell out of control of your weight. So same, very similar thing, right? Also, too, like this voice like makes you feel like you're never enough. So like, is that actually productive and helpful? Definitely not, right? And also like too, like the more that we hear this like self-critical voice, it disconnects you from your body. So I know that right now you think it's helpful that you stay on track, but it's actually the thing that is truly keeping you stuck and keeping you from feeling good in your body and feeling good in your mind. So now that we kind of recognize what this voice is, that it's a little bit separated from us, right? It's our brain just trying to protect us and feel safe. Like, what do we actually do with this voice? So first you need to create some separation. So I want you to start noticing it instead of becoming it. And this is kind of like almost in a sense of mindfulness activity. And I feel like mindfulness, like we've heard so much about it, but it's so hard to actually execute, but it's really disconnecting and like just being able to like see your thoughts. And I know that that sounds so hard, but what I will say is the more and more you practice this, the easier it gets, right? So don't get discouraged if this feels uncomfortable at first. But I want you to say like to yourself, like, oh, it's that voice again. Like, this is not me. And I even have some clients that have named it some like fun things. Like I had one client say that it was her gremlin, or another client, I think she said that it was called like Greg or Steve or some like dude's name, right? Like I think you can get like have some fun with it. You could you could just say that this isn't me, this isn't my voice. But I also even feel like naming it as something external can be like really helpful. Like, oh shit, like fucking Gregory is being a little dick again to me. Like, screw you, Gregory, get out of my head, right? And then too, like when you identify it, when you're able to have that awareness and kind of like say like, okay, this isn't me, like don't fight it, but also like don't obey it. So I don't want you to like argue it. I don't want you to spiral because of it, but also like don't blindly follow through to the voice. So I want you to hear it without like actually like listening to it and like executing it, right? So like again, that kind of goes back to that mindfulness of like just be aware of it, like understand it, right? Because the more that we can like see that separation, see when like maybe these thoughts are a little bit toxic to us, like that actually gives us a lot of awareness on how we can move forward. So too, like when from there, like we need to get curious, like what is this trying to protect you from right in that moment? Really ask and like try to figure it out, because that's going to really help you figure out like, okay, here's the fear underneath this thought. Instead of getting caught up in the self-critical thought that you're having and the negative thought that's like in the present, like I want you to dig deeper, right? Because there is, again, usually that fear underneath. And then I want you to choose a different response. So we're not actually, we're being aware of the thought, we're recognizing it, we're questioning it, but then we're not letting that thought turn into action. We're not letting that thought, similarly we talked about the bad body image thought, we're not letting the thought of like, oh, like you suck, like you should actually go to the gym and like do some more cardio because it's going to make you feel better about yourself. Like, because right now, if you don't go to the gym and you don't do all this cardio, you're going to be a piece of poop, whatever it is for you, right? That might be going through your head. Like, I want you to still eat normal. I want you to still show up normal, still take care of yourself normally, and tell yourself like, I don't let that voice, I don't let Gregory decide how I treat my body today, right? Healing is not getting rid of that voice. Again, that voice is going to be there, but really healing is changing your relationship to that voice and like understanding like, okay, this isn't like the identity that I want to step into. That thought isn't stemming from like the version of myself that I want to be. So like, why am I going to listen to it, and why am I going to follow through with what it's telling me when that isn't actually taking me the direction I want to go, right? And if you've been living with this voice for years, like, of course it feels like you. Again, of course you're like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, this episode, you might even have to listen back to this, be like, I can't even wrap my head around this right now. And, like, it's going to be hard to ignore, right? But, like, you are not your inner critic. Like, that's not you. That's just, like, a part of your brain, right? It's Gregory. I don't know why I keep saying that name. But, again, it's whoever you want to name it, right? Like, you're the one who hears it. You're not the one who's, like, creating that inner critic voice, right? Like, you're just hearing the thought, you're seeing the thought. And that distinction is going to be everything in this healing journey for you. And you don't need to hate that part of you. Like, you don't need to like be like, why do I have to have this inner critic? Like, I almost feel like we need to like respect it and be like, okay, I understand like the coping mechanism that like it, like I get why you're there, but also you're not being helpful, right? And you also don't need to silence it completely. Like, you just need to not let it run your life anymore, because you can be kind to yourself and still grow. Like, those things can coexist. And honestly, I think that that's the main way that you are going to grow. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Fit Without Obsession podcast. If this episode made you feel seen, understood, or a little less alone, make sure you're following so you don't miss any future episodes. And if you feel called to share, you can tag me on Instagram at @thefitbean_. I love connecting with you there. If you're ready for deeper support, whether that's calming food obsession, rebuilding trust with your body, or getting stronger without slipping back into old patterns, you'll find ways to work with me linked in the show notes. And remember, you are not broken. You are not behind. And you don't need to earn your worth through control. You can want peace and strength. You can heal and build a body you feel at home in. I'm rooting for you always. Talk soon.